Tourism is a significant contributor to economic growth and development. It is also a major source of foreign exchange earnings, employment, and government revenues. In 2013, the direct contribution of the travel and tour industry to Ghana's GDP was $1.34 billion, representing 2.8% of GDP. The number of jobs which were directly supported by tourism was also 124,000. Ghana's tourism industry development indicators have increased over the years. International tourist receipts increased from $970 million in 2008 to over $1 billion in 2013, which means the number of international visitors to Ghana is now growing at an extraordinary rate. One of the remarkable experiences these tourists carry with them is the services provided by the hospitality industry, because this is where they spend much of their monies. This is the same industry which has been dominated by foreign hotels, meaning the returns go back to these same foreign pockets. The situation is gradually collapsing some of the local hotels. The manager of Fiesta Royal, Kingsley Addison, says this unfortunate situation can be avoided if local hotels are properly branded.
If you're a local hotel and you want to be acknowledged internationally, the best thing for you to do is to get a brand that is worldwide, so that when the travelers, they go on these sites, and it depends on the brand, they prefer one brand to the other. So based on the brand, you rake in the needed returns, if I may say so.
As the country's economy grows, the growth is expected to influence foreign investment in the hospitality industry, and Addison says government's intervention is needed to save the existing local ones.
There are a few challenges where you see a lot of hotels about to spring up, and this will definitely bring about competition, and the effect of competition at the end of the day. Yes. It will inure to the benefit of the guest or the client. That is where we need to also have some government interventions in terms of making capital less expensive to the industry players.
While the country undergoes a remarkable turn in producing a long-term development plan, how well is tourism captured in the plan?
It needs to be situated within a long-time context, because things evolve. So we need to have a fairly good idea as to where we want to be in terms of our tourism relative to our own neighbors, relative to the global tourism sector itself. But it also requires that we put in place, because it's to a very large extent, it depends on infrastructure, how to get from one particular place to another, the facilities themselves, and more importantly, the services that we get at these facilities are equally important.
Dr. Nimoy Thompson underscored the fact that the cost of doing business is expensive in Ghana, and said the plan would address all this development.
The role of Ghanaians in the economy, the stake of Ghanaians in the economy itself, will play a major role in the preparation of the long-term national development plan. And by stake, I don't mean government or Ghanaians taking over what others have invested, but creating conditions for Ghanaians themselves to go into tourism infrastructure and tourism provision. One of the biggest disadvantages the Ghanaian businessmen and women face is simply the high cost of doing business in Ghana. These foreigners that you refer to probably borrow at 7–8% most to come and set up businesses here.
He called for a better supply chain system to augment the changes the country is witnessing. Edem Gyamesi, Versatile News, Accra.